Something a lot of us do is we look around and we say, oh my gosh, look at so-and-so, they're doing so great. Or oh my gosh, look at Sally and Greg, they're just amazing out there, they're doing things, I'll never be able to be like them. And that's the thing, you won't. You will not be able to be like them, but you're not supposed to. So what do we do about it then? Do we just let these thoughts run rampant in our minds? Or is there a cure when these thoughts actually come back up? There's a cure, friend. And I'm gonna give you some tips to deal with imposter syndrome today so that they do not stop us from doing the things we were meant to do. Let's get into it. The first tip is to embrace imperfectionism, that it doesn't need to be perfect. Something that so many of us need to realize is that done at our best ability, but imperfect, is so much better than super neat, but only using half our potential. It is so much better. I would rather use all of my potential and have it be imperfect, but knowing that I gave my absolute best, than only giving half of me and it being super neat and what people are expecting of me. And there's actually a scientific thing called the spotlight theory. Look it up on Google. I might make a video on it soon. Every one of us is walking around thinking that the spotlight is shining on us. And everyone's looking at me all the time. Everyone notices when I make a mistake. Everyone notices when I fail. Everyone notices when I just stumbled over my word. Everyone is noticing. We think that. But in reality, everyone is thinking that. Everyone's thinking that the spotlight is on them. So if the spotlight's on me, how can it be on you too? We have to realize that even though I am thinking about internally myself, the next person is not thinking about me, they're actually thinking about them. So they're not noticing all the mistakes and flaws. They're wondering, oh my gosh, am I doing okay in my own circle over there? So realizing that we're human and that so many people are feeling the same thing is huge. The second tip is to separate fact from fiction. Realize the thought that comes into your head and realize that you can capture it and you can actually rewrite the script now. So instead of making the rule that you can never ask for help because people will think less of you, think, no one knows everything, and brave people admit when they don't know. So I choose to be brave right now. I choose to ask for help and beat this thought. Catch the thoughts in its track and challenge those negative thoughts. That's actually something I talked about in this video right here. Check it out if you haven't already, because we talk about how to actually challenge those negative thoughts. The third tip is to talk to somebody about it. So just like in the beginning of this video when I told you guys a little bit something vulnerable about myself, it helps for people to know that, you're not perfect, because they're feeling the same thing as well. If me being vulnerable is gonna help somebody else, then it is worth it. Not only does it help the other person though, it also helps you, because it helps you to just release that tension that you're feeling of, I have to be perfect. I'm telling you right now, I'm not perfect. And that's what you'll be doing as well. You'll be telling people, I'm not perfect. I'm struggling with this thing. I'm struggling with feeling like I don't know everything. I can tell you for myself, when I was at work and someone would come up to me and we both got promoted at the same time and they're like, bruh, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, oh my God, I felt freedom to tell them that I also struggled in not knowing half of what I was doing as well. We became allies in that. So surround yourself with positive people who are vulnerable, and talk about that. That's something that Brene Brown talks about so much, the power of vulnerability. The fourth tip is to make a list of things that you have done well and constantly look at that list. This is something that you would write 3 things I'm proud of myself for, compliments that I've received in the past year, things that I have accomplished, traits about me that I absolutely love. Make this list for yourself and look at it constantly. Post it somewhere that you can see it, so that when these sneaky thoughts come back up, you can look at it and say, I've done that, I'm good at this, I know this, I love this about myself. Read those thoughts back to yourself whenever these thoughts come back up. Number 5 is especially for my people pleasers like me. You do not need to meet anyone's expectations or standards but your own. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not going to try to be your best self for other people or for yourself. It does not mean that. You definitely want to bring your best foot forward and be your best self for people and for you. But what it doesn't mean is that now you have to work to receive approval or receive love from other people. That is what you don't want to do. That actually bridges over into codependency, which what we do not want. You don't need to work for anyone's love or someone's approval or someone's, yes, you are enough. You don't need to meet anyone else's standard but your own. So think, are you doing this? Are you overthinking, overanalyzing, doubting yourself, thinking that you're not capable just to please other people? If so, this is something that you definitely want to cut out, especially for a people pleaser. Number 6 is to be present. One of the things stopping so many of us are thinking, oh my gosh, I've done this amazing thing in the past, and now everyone's gonna expect me to keep being amazing, and I don't know how to be amazing, I don't know how to do this thing, and everyone just expects it of me, and I don't know how to do it. Stop thinking of what you did and what people gonna think. You can't control those things. You can't control it. You can't control what you did. That's already done. You can't control what people gonna think. That's in their mind. You can't control it. But what you can control, and I talk about this a lot, is your effort. You can't control what you're gonna do right now. What are you gonna do right now? How are you gonna enter into this space right now? How are you going to give effort right now? That's what you can't control. And that's what you need to focus on. Number 7 is something that my sister and my brother-in-law tell me all the time, and it's one of their mottos, is you are so much more than what you do. So many times we think that, oh my gosh, I made that big accomplishment, or I had that huge failure, and we think that that defines us. But that actually doesn't define us at all. We're more than the actions that we do, and we are worthy whether we do good or we do bad. It doesn't take away our worth. Don't let that one thing define you. Or don't let the fear of messing up or the fear of doing so well that you can't handle it define you. It doesn't. Take the step and do it. Something a lot of us imposters do is we look around and we say, oh my gosh, look at so-and-so, they're doing so great. Or oh my gosh, look at Sally and Greg, they're just amazing out there, they're doing things, I'll never be able to be like them. And that's the thing. You won't. You will not be able to be like them. But you're not supposed to. A lot of us think that I either have to be what they think I'm supposed to be, what I think I'm supposed to be, or what I think they think I'm supposed to be. Does that make sense? And if we're trying to meet those expectations, of course we're gonna be an imposter, because it's gonna come off as fake. It's not natural. I don't know how to be what you think I'm supposed to be. I don't know how to be what I'm thinking in my mind I'm supposed to be. I don't know how to be what you think I'm supposed to be. I don't know how to be those things. I'm gonna be fake. I'm gonna be trying or striving to be that person. I'm gonna be. But if I'm being myself, the only thing I know how to be, the only thing that comes natural to me, there is no way I could be an imposter. Zero. None. No way. If someone else is trying to be me, they'll be an imposter. If I'm trying to be somebody else, I'll be an imposter. But if I'm trying to be myself, I will not be an imposter. If I own what I know, I own how I look, I own how I walk, how I talk, what I think. If I own those things, there is zero way we can be imposters. And that's the biggest tip I have for you, is to own who you are. Own it. Own the mistakes, the imperfections, everything you know, all of those things. Own it. It is okay. Own those things. I could talk about this all day. I love the topic of imposter syndrome because I know that so many of us have dealt with this. And this channel is about self-discovery and self-awareness and loving ourselves, and this is key. So I'll be talking about it in future videos, as well as other things similar to the topic of knowing yourself more. So hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like this video so that others can see it too, and also so I know that you like this type of content. Comment below and let me know which one of these resonated with you the most. And I'll see you guys again in the next one. Bye, guys.